JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 9th of March 2021. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. The index reversed back to the upside, so it is a bit of a roller coaster ride. I mean, right now, lately. Yep, on one hand, we do have a support area, which I've mentioned before, by the way, the 28,325 zone, 26 zone, which continues to kind of provide good support. And from here, we saw the index reversing back up and making its way again closer to the 21-day EMA. So in a way, there is a chance here for the bulls. However, probably the bulls are going to be waiting this one out, because even if we push higher, if we struggle to overcome the 21-day EMA or the short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 16th of February, now what could happen here is we could see another potential slide here. So long story short, basically for now, the index seems to be willing to push higher, but we can, in a way, given all these obstacles, for now we'll consider this move higher as a temporary correction before a possible another slide here. In terms of the upside, if you want to go for some higher levels here, well, probably wait for at least for a break of this this downside line here, this short-term downside line drawn from the high of the 16th of February, and then we could go for some higher levels. But at the moment, I mean, it's a bit of a tricky one here, so it's a bit of a bear's game here right now. But again, we are seeing a bit of light in the end of the tunnel here. So yeah, I mean, let's see how all this is going to play out. For now, again, like I said, that's how it is. That's the little situation here with with Nikkei 225. Now, I hope you can hear me and see me well, because it seems that I'm having a few issues with connectivity here. So, but hopefully everything is running okay. Right. Now, jumping into Shanghai Composite, quick update here. I mean, unlike Nikkei, which is at least trying to climb higher, Shanghai Composite is just on a free fall, and yep, it managed to reach my target. If you remember yesterday in my Traders Espresso, I mentioned this area, this 200-day EMA together with a 3,325 territory, which we also managed to reach. And yeah, I mean, now the big question here is, can we see a bit of a rebound here? If we can, then it would be good news here for the buyers. However, only in the short run, because in a way we could rebound, but let's not forget that we are still trading below this downside line right here, which could continue to provide resistance. So, long story short, for now, we will keep an eye on this area, this 200-day EMA together with the 3,325 zone. We could see maybe even another test of it, but if overall, if the index remains above it, then we might see a nice rebound here back to this downside line, and then of course we'll take it from there. If it continues to slide below this 3,325 territory. Now, my next target will be, not this line, but this line. My next target will be the low of the 13th of November here of last year, and that's near the 3,291.92 territory. The German index, DAX, I mean, look at this explosion yesterday to the upside. I mean, it overcame the previous all-time high, and yep, I mean, it created a new one hitting the let me just mark this one, hitting the 14,380 let me just up 14,403 territory, approximately around there. And yep, the index kind of drifted, then well corrected slightly lower on the because we can see that on the cash index. The cash index currently is trading at around 14,360 territory. So in a way, there is still a possibility to see maybe a bit of a move back up, maybe towards this all-time high, maybe even create a new all-time high today. But again, let's not rush into anything yet. For now, everything's looking very interesting here on the German index. Can we go for further higher levels? Well, to be honest, at this point, as always, when we see an index in uncharted territory, I always suggest to, if we did hit something new, if we did hit a new all-time high, then probably wait for a violation of that all-time high again, and then go for some higher levels. So basically, long story short, a push above the 14,403 territory could do the trick for more buyers here, and yep, we could then target further upside. In terms of the downside, if we see the index falling, let me just draw this one. Yep. If we see the index falling back below the 14,197 territory, which was the previous all-time high, then maybe we could go for a bit of a correction here to the downside. So yeah, keep your eyes on down. So Dow Jones Industrial Average so also managed to hit a new all-time high yesterday. But it was a very, I mean, this recent activity here, this recent spike to the upside, I mean, that's what's worrying me a little bit. Now, what I would prefer to see here is if we can get another push above the 32,009 territory right here, marked by the highest point of February. That's where I'll start looking at the upside again. I'll aim for the all-time high, which is roughly around the 32,148, and if that gets cleared, then yes, higher levels could be met. But at the moment, looking at the cash index, we can see that the price is trading back below the 32,000 area. We are near the 31,900 mark right now, so just bouncing around it. But yeah, if we do see a push back above the 32,000 mark, and then a push above the 32,148, then yes, of course, the higher levels could be met, guys. For the downside, if you want to again consider maybe lower areas, well, probably wait for a drop below this little hurdle right here, the 31,644 territory. Now, I'm not saying that this is from here it will just reverse sharply to the downside. No, there are still a bunch of obstacles to overcome before we could consider lower areas. But one of the, I mean, in the short run, that's what we could start looking at here. If we see a drop back below the 31,644 territory, we could aim for that 21-day EMA again. Now, jumping into DXY, the dollar index, and continues to push higher, but again, today we're seeing a bit of a setback here, so maybe this idea that I've mentioned yesterday will work out nicely. So the idea was that we might get a bit of a correction here at some point. Now, it's unclear, basically, will we hit the 200-day EMA first and then go for a correction to the downside? But it seems that maybe, just maybe, there is a chance maybe to see that little correction first and then see maybe a rebound from this upside line, from where we could maybe then target the from where we could target the this 200-day EMA together with the 92.80 zone here, marked by the high of the 23rd of November, and then we would take it from there, guys. So let me just grab this arrow here. Just want to put it right there. So. Okay, now in terms of the downside, of course, a drop back below the 91.60 territory here may do the trick for more sellers. So keep your eyes on that one. For now, again, the dollar is, although it is rising, still be very careful, because if markets start pushing, if the equity markets start pushing strongly to the upside, the dollar might take a hit, guys. So be careful with that. Keep that in mind, because that's one of the situations that could happen. And of course, for now, basically, yes. I mean, it's very appealing. It could work out nicely here for the bulls, but yeah, still be very cautious on that one. Like I said, if the equities start pushing higher, then the dollar might come under selling interest, and yeah, we could see a nice drop here to the downside. So keep your eyes on that one. Jumping into gold very quickly. So gold continues to drift. To be honest, not much to talk about here. It's still the same game plan. I mean, I'm still aiming for this upside line together with this 1671.70 territory. We managed to almost reach that yesterday. So in a way, kind of, I would say maybe it's already a good result. But yeah, for now, guys, I would say keep your eyes on this upside line, keep your eyes on this 1670 territory. That's my main target, although I understand that we are very close to it, but I'm going to take it from there, and I want to see if we can get a nice strong rebound from that upside line, or unless we break it and then move further south. So again, we are at a very interesting spot here in gold, so don't rush into anything yet. So, jumping into WTI oil. So, yesterday I talked about Brent, and yeah, we managed to get that little reversal signal. So, let's see if this can drift lower today. However, for WTI oil, I would prefer to see maybe a drop below the 63.80 zone, 679, something like that here. Approximately around this level, around this area. That's the highest point of February. A nice drop below this, yep, could open the door towards some lower areas here, and initially we'll target the lowest point of from March, the current lowest point of March, near the 59.27, and then we'll take it from there. Well, of course, actually before that even, we will target the 21-day EMA here, shown as the yellow line, because as you can see, so far the 21-day EMA continues to provide decent support, and let's see if that's going to be the case this time. Bitcoin. Bitcoin passing this 52,577 territory. I talked about this level previously, and yeah, I mean, now it's kind of creating this opportunity again for more buyers. I mean, more buyers are joining in here and traveling together with Bitcoin to the upside. We're currently sitting near the 54,000 mark right here, just slightly below it, of course. But if we clear the 54,000, my next target is the all-time high near the 58,320 zone, so approximately around there. But again, for now, let's see how this is going to play out. If we do see that daily candle remaining above this 54,000 mark, then yes, I'll start considering higher. Well, again, not considering, but I'll continue targeting the upside. For me to start looking at lower areas, well, I would prefer maybe to see a drop somewhere below the 50,863 territory, somewhere approximately around here. And then, yes, we could maybe go for a bit of a decline. However, I would prefer, from the short-term perspective, I would prefer to see maybe a drop below this area first. this upside support line drawn from the low of the 28th of February, and at the same time we would see a drop below the 21-day EMA, and more bears could join in then. So that's why, guys, I mean, pick your comfortable level, I would say, but for me, I was the more comfortable area could come for the downside, to consider the downside, could come on a break of this upside line and this 21-day EMA. AUDJPY. So, oh, by the way, before kind of going further with the pairs, I mean, today in terms of the economic calendar, we did have this morning, early morning, a lot of data from Japan. I mean, we had the GDP figures, which came out a bit of a disappointment on the lower side. So, yeah, I mean, the year-on-year and Q-on-Q figures fail to meet their forecasts, and not to mention the previous numbers. You can check those out in the economic calendar, guys. Household spending fell as well. So yeah, I mean, and actually it fell almost at some points here twice and three times the forecast. So not to mention, of course, also the previous one. So also that's something that you can check out. But again, I mean, all this is not really working well for the yen, but however, for the Japanese economy as well. I mean, so that's kind of a bit of an indication that not everything is that smooth in there. So, so yeah, that's why for now, guys, looking at this picture, it's AUDJPY. This is going to be a very interesting one to keep an eye on, especially when the overall risk-on, risk-off environment. Basically, for now, you can see that yes, the pair is trying to make its way higher, is breaking again this downside line taken from the high of the 25th of February, but can it stay above it? Well, that's going to be an interesting question, because again, for now, although yes, there is an indication that we could see more upside here, but I would prefer to wait maybe for a push above the 84 territory, somewhere around here, before aiming for some higher levels. This way, I mean, we could then get a little bit more comfortable with the highest point of February, of reaching the highest point of February near the 84.95 zone, and then we would take it from there. Now, in terms of the downside, well, on this one here, previously I said that if this downside line continues to provide resistance, then yep, there is a chance to see the pair drifting lower. But again, at the moment we're breaking this downside line, so I mean, unless something happens here, unless the risk environment turns to a risk-off one, and indices start sliding, then well, I mean, we could see a move here towards the 21-day EMA or towards this 82 territory, and then we will take it from there. USDCAD, quick update. Excuse me, quick update. So basically, the pair is still struggling with this downside line. Now, I've mentioned this yesterday, guys, to you. Then, I mean, if you remember, that's what I was talking about, and basically. For now, I mean, we just have to kind of wait and see, and we need to wait for that daily candle to remain above this downside line in order to get at least a little bit more comfortable with higher levels. But again, I mean, we're not really getting that, and most importantly, we're not really getting a push above this 1.2738 territory. I spoke about this previously. I need that break here above this level before kind of, let's say, getting comfortable with even higher levels. But we cannot really even talk about that because the pair is still struggling with this downside line. So yeah, I mean, and in terms of the downside, I mean, it's not really showing any clear indication that it wants to drift lower. So probably I'll stick to this 1.2590 territory. I'll keep an eye on that one before in order to, let's say, get a little bit more excited with lower areas, and then we'll take it from there. Good morning to you too, Kirsten. Yes, I mean, you can see that in the chat room. So, yep, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful start of the day. So now coming back to the pairs, USDJPY, that's another interesting one, and this one's just on fire. I mean, non-stop movement here to the upside, and yeah, I mean, if you're trying to short it, well, I mean, I hope you have a very wide stop loss, but probably it's not really working out here for the bears right now. So, and again, guys, this is what I said to you previously. Wait for that confirmation signal. Wait for that confirmation reversal. For now, we're not really getting that. So, so yeah, I mean, that's just kind of one-way traffic. So once we get that confirmation reversal, and for example, this could be maybe this this daily candle reversing sharply to the downside, forming a nice shooting star here, or doji. But for now, I mean, it is how it is, and yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, we're still waiting for that reversal signal in order to maybe capture a bit of a swing here to the downside. GBPUSD, so this one is it found good support near the 1.3782 territory right here, and now the big question here is, can it continue drifting? I mean, yeah, it can continue drifting lower. Well, yes, we found a bit of support here. We're seeing a bit of a retracement here to the upside. However, we're approaching this 21-day EMA, which, keep your eyes on it. If it provides good resistance, another slide here could be possible. And also, this 21-day EMA is not far from this downside line, which also could provide resistance. And yeah, all this, if it works out nicely here for the bears, we could see more of them joining in and pushing this pair towards the this medium-term upside support line drawn from the low of the 23rd of September. And then we would take it from there, guys. In terms of the upside, well, we would need to see, I would prefer to wait for a push above the 1.40 territory somewhere around here, or even that's 1.40 zone. A nice good push above that psychological territory could open the door towards higher levels. And finally, EURUSD. So we managed to reach the 200-day EMA, or should I say, just fractionally fell shy by a few pips from hitting that, but yeah, I mean, we'll take that as a success. So this was my goal. I said that let's say if we reach the 200-day EMA or even the 1.18 zone, that's going to be my area, and then we'll take it from there. For now, I'm seeing a bit of a corrective here, corrective move to the upside. Well, I mean, we could see maybe even more of that. But if this downside line taken from the high of the 25th of February continues to provide resistance, yep, another slide here lower could be possible, and then we would take it from there. For now, long story short, yes, the 200-day EMA is doing its job. It's acting as a nice area of support. Can we see a larger correction to the upside? Well, let's wait and see. But if this downside line gets broken, then of course, yes, higher levels could be met. But again, we'll class that as a temporary kind of correction still, because we are trading below this downside line still, taken from the high of the 6th of January. And yeah, we'll just have to kind of consider still this move higher as a temporary correction. But we'll get to that point if we get to that point. If we see a break of this downside line, but if we don't, then yep, the trend is still to the downside. The short-term trend is still to the downside. So guys, be very careful with that. So that's it from me. I hope you found it useful, guys. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Stay safe. Have like I said again, have a wonderful day. And join me later on at my traders tea time, 13:30 GMT. For now, have a wonderful day for the third time already. And yeah, I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.